Welcome to The Fiber, brought to you by Live Oak Fiber, where we weave together the stories of leaders, entrepreneurs, and changemakers who are the very fabric of their communities. Join us as we spotlight those who embody the spirit of connection, resilience, and progress. Hey everyone, Garrett here with Live Oak Fiber, and today we have another podcast coming up to you. I'm with Steve Smith, our Chief Revenue Officer here at Live Oak, and we are joined today with Lexi and Kevin Rakowski with Southern Soul Jiu-Jitsu. And first of all, thank you all for joining us today. It should be a fun one. But Lexi, Kevin, again, thank you for joining. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Kevin Rakowski. I am the owner with my wife Lexi of Southern Soul, as well as Geese for Growth. We also coach at Southern Soul Academy. And we started Geese for Growth because we started noticing that as we were doing Southern Soul, there were a lot of children that weren't able to get into extracurricular martial arts, into jiu-jitsu specifically. And so we wanted to alleviate that for parents.
Awesome. I guess to kick things off, I want to talk about Southern Soul Jiu-Jitsu a little bit. So tell us how you got started with Southern Soul Jiu-Jitsu and kind of what inspired you to open up the gym to begin with.
So to answer that question, what inspired us to start our own jiu-jitsu journey with the academy was that the culture around jiu-jitsu and about combat sports is kind of mixed, and it leans a little bit more towards the negative side. And we were trying to create a new face, basically like a facelift for combat sports, and just show that it's not that scary. It's just like a sport like anything else. The worst part is just getting in the door. After that, it's just smooth sailing.
I think, yeah, to add on to that, what we were really looking for was a community built more around the family aspect of it. There's a lot. There are some gyms that focus more on the adult side, where it's intenser. It's more about MMA and it's just more of an intimidating environment. And with us having two kids, one that was really into it at the time, we really wanted a community where it was about everybody. It was about like I said, the family side of it, where your kid would join and then the parents would look into it and be like, wow, maybe I could do this too. And so we really fostered our community around that, and that's kind of what inspired us to open the gym.
Had you guys done jiu-jitsu before?
Yep, we did indeed.
Where did you guys do that?
Yeah, how long?
So before we opened the academy, I think I had been doing jiu-jitsu before we opened it, I think 4 years.
I think you were 5 when we opened.
4 or 5 years when we opened. And then we've been open now for just over 2, so about 6-7 years now for myself. And then
I think I was at 2.5 maybe when we first opened.
Yeah.
And I had done it while I was pregnant and stuff, so it was kind of on and off the mats a little bit, just with family life. So yeah, it was probably about 2.5 years for me, or 2 years or so. So yeah.
So is it basically once you guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, you're good.
No, I was just going to say, like I said, that's kind of why, we, like I said, wanted an environment that was more family friendly, because we were building our own family at the time too. When we first opened the gym, Hudson, our youngest, was 1.5.
Maybe.
And so,
yeah.
So it really helped us build that community of the family environment, because we were going through it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, when you first started doing jiu-jitsu for the both of you, that kind of convinced you this is not necessarily just a sport, but also a community tool? Was there a certain moment that you realized we could use this for so much more?
Yeah, so I got into jiu-jitsu because I wrestled in high school, and I was active duty, stationed at Hurlburt Field, and I was trying to find something to do. I felt like what you're saying. I felt like I needed something more than just the working with coworkers. I was a mechanic, and so working with coworkers and then going back to the dorms or to the house, and I just wanted to be part of something again and be active. So I found a jiu-jitsu gym at the time.
I think for me, the time was, I've always been really passionate about getting women into the sport. It's great self-defense, and it's just great, like you said, community building for women, especially our area is kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
in terms of community, not community building, but like just community events, I guess. There's not a lot of things that bring the community together. Being in a military town, there's so many people in and out, and so jiu-jitsu is something that stays consistent. And so when I joined, there were some women on the mats, but there wasn't a way to really bring them together outside of the mats. And so I feel like we've used a lot of our gym to build that, to have these community events and bring people together, not just for jiu-jitsu, but for other reasons as well.
And have you guys kind of, learned from, what you liked from other gyms, but also kind of like Lexi, what you were just talking about, bringing together, whether it's women or just different people from different parts of the community, to sort of help you build the gym of your dreams, where it's like, not just, again, about the sport, but about building community amongst one another, building friendships, and also just, creating positive, healthy habits for everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. Yeah.
I don't have like a specific, I guess it's not like we've drawn from one specific like other group in the community that does it. It's we kind of like piece together things from other communities of what they've done and what we feel has worked for us, like growing up as a military family in this community.
Yeah.
And just kind of, I mean, it's trial and error really too, of what gets people comfortable.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've done like paintball events for kids, and we've done like
kids
beach outings. Yeah, we've done movie nights at the gym. So it's more like we take, I guess really trial and error is more than like we've drawn from another community event. It's just whatever we can think of to start trying to bring people together, especially, like I said, the women and the kids, because it's hard around here.
Yeah. How did you decide on jiu-jitsu as the sport? Is that just because you had that experience, Kevin, or?
Yeah, I wrestled, and I really enjoyed coaching. So when I was in the military, they put me in charge of the day shift, and I was the only NCO. And so at one point in time, I had 23 levels with me at one plane, and it was just me. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do here. So I just started teaching them as much as I knew about planes. And then within like a month or two, they all started getting better comprehension, better grasps. And I was like, man, I enjoy this. I enjoy helping people. And then our oldest was doing sports, and they needed volunteers for coaches. And so I was like, oh, I'll volunteer. I teach adults. I think I can teach kids. So I volunteered to teach sports. I think it was basketball first, and I fell in love with it. I loved seeing the accomplishments and the little mini victories that the little kids had in basketball. So then we went to soccer, did the same thing, and then I was like, I think I can do this with jiu-jitsu. I tried out actually helping out a wrestling coach at the time, and I was like, this is awesome. I love this. This is incredible. And it just went from there. Yeah, we talked about it, and I was like, I think I can do jiu-jitsu. I think we can do it. I think we can change the mindset about it. And so that's what happened.
I think jiu-jitsu is unique, though, because it kind of brings in, I never did any sports growing up. I was never a sports person. And I think jiu-jitsu kind of brings in that kind of person. Like most of the time, the kids we get, like, they're like, we've tried every sport, and our kid has never stuck with any of them. And that was me growing up. And jiu-jitsu, like, I don't know if it's the mental, like I feel like there's more, like you have to think through your positions. Like it's more mentally challenging, in my opinion, than other sports. And I think that kind of like brings in children that maybe have not fit in other places before. And it gives us a really unique way to like connect with these kids and find them a community like that fits for them. Where in other sports, maybe they like were never able to stick with it and never able to like make friends in those sports or build that community. And I think I can't explain it because it's not something uniquely we do. It's something that jiu-jitsu does itself.
Right.
It brings in just a unique kind of kid, a unique kind of person.
How did you guys come up with the idea of Geese for Growth?
So actually, I think that the idea originally came from, there's a girl in San Diego that I want to say her gym is called Stronghold, and she has a similar program where it's a nonprofit where she helps kids in her area. And I want to say I connected with her via Facebook, and she brought the idea to me, brought the idea to jujitsu. She probably wasn't the first, but what brought it to my attention. And we just saw a need for it in this area. We hated turning kids away, families away that just couldn't afford it, because sports in general are not cheap. And jiu-jitsu is no exception. And so it helped us to, like I said, connect with those kids that wouldn't have connected in other communities. It gave us a way for their parents to be able to do that.
And we probably should have asked this before, but can you tell us about Gis for Growth? Can you tell the people that are listening what it is and how it works?
Yeah, so Gis for Growth was made specifically for children. So we offer jiu-jitsu at Southern Soul Academy. And so our monthly rate, some parents, families can't afford that for their kids, even though the kids are thriving. They're doing fantastic in it. And then they say they can't continue. And then, we say, okay, that's the child. That's not the child's fault, nor is it the family's fault. It's just
right.
the what's happening at that one current time. So we wanted to help out. We just wanted to offer it. I grew up pretty poor when I lived in Austin, and so I didn't get to do a lot of sports. My cousin got to do sports because his mom was like, no, it's okay. So I went to all his games and I saw the community built. I saw how he had all these friends and stuff. And I would always go with him. We would always went to sporting things with him, and we were always his little team. And so I valued that a lot as a kid, because it would have been awesome to be part of it as well. I was part of it, but just as like a bystander. It would have been really nice to be able to know that I could do these things with them and have those memories, and then potentially carry that on to my kids as well.
That's awesome.
So more succinctly, our Gis for Growth is our nonprofit program. It's a 501c3 that we started that it helps to support these kids to have 12 months of tuition. It covers competition fees. It covers a full uniform set for them. We use it a lot to run like fundraisers. So like Southern Soul will do fundraiser events for Gis for Growth that helps support to allow those kids to do jiu-jitsu on the mats with us, help them reach those community ties, and help them develop as amazing human beings. It's done wonders for the families that we've been able to help, and we're really glad that we've been able to start and run this program.
And how long have you guys been running it for? If forgive me if you've already said that, I blanked over it a little.
Yeah, Southern Soul has been open for 2 years and some change. And then Gis for Growth has been open for at least a year.
I don't think so. I think our first scholarships were in January. We started fundraising, I want to say, in like October of last year. Okay. So it's still a brand new program.
Okay. That's awesome. So what kind of transformations have you seen in kids' lives so far? I mean, is there any like stories that kind of, poke out or like kind of make themselves apparent?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Yeah, we've had 3 people on the program so far. One of them in particular, like her confidence levels are night and day. Like she was terrified when she first got on the mats, and now she's she's a little killer. And but even off the mats, like her confidence level has improved. Her parents have told us that her school has improved. And you can just tell that she, like I said, found somewhere that she belongs. So I guess it's not a specific story, but just to see her go from scared and just hard to step on the mats to like, this is my space kind of thing has just been incredible.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to see them going from never even asking a question or even like just shying away whenever we ask them a question to being very vocal, being very confident and happy that they know the answer. And it doesn't seem like they have much of confidence issues after some time.
It's really incredible to watch them like get their first stripe. Like the joy and pride in their face, like there's nothing like it. And the stripes are what we award in jiu-jitsu when they first get like their rank up to the next level. We have a bunch of them for kids, but normally it's around 4 for adults. And that just shows their progression up to the next belt level. It gives them like kind of increments of knowing where they're at. And when they get their first one, it's just like I said, the pride on their face is just incredible. Just knowing how hard they've worked for it. And
it's crazy to see what a little piece of tape does to your mentality. It's really awesome and crazy.
That's right.
In the short term, what are you guys hoping to accomplish, whether it's for the rest of this year or even moving into next year?
Well, we would like to be able to have more kids.
Reach as many families as possible, especially the ones like that need the help, that need the confidence, or maybe there's a kid out there that needs to stand up to bullying.
Yep.
And I mean, that goes in hand with the confidence, and it's as many kids as we can get on the program and that we can support, the better.
Yeah.
And how many kids can you support right this very moment?
So we're at 3 right now. We probably could. We're probably at 3. That's probably pretty solid for what we're able to support right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We might be able to, but I doubt it.
May squeeze in a few extra.
Yeah. I'm always trying to like push it as far as I can. But
that tends to be how it always is for nonprofit. We've talked to a couple other where like, they're like a special education school, and it's like, we have 50 kids now, but I want to double it. And I'm like, all the teachers that work there are like, no, we can't do that. It's too many.
Well,
it's always the same
definitely
thing.
Support more. It's just the funding. Like the funding is the only problem.
What is it? What kind of costs are associated, or if you can, like a rough number, like what does it usually cost, like one student to participate for the whole year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's about. We do discount it on the Southern Soul side, so it's about, I want to say, $1,500 per kid.
Okay.
For the whole year, so it's $100 a month for the tuition with Southern Soul. That's the discounted rate. And then we, like I said, we include in the scholarship the uniforms and a competition fee, which is about $140. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the uniforms just say the Southern Soul things on it, and they get a full set for
gi and no gi.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Gotcha.
That's not nearly as expensive as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, jiu-jitsu can be expensive, and like I said, we do discount it on the Southern Soul side. Our like public rates are more expensive than that, but just to try to get those kids on the mat and help them as much as we can without hurting ourselves on the back end.
You kind of touched on it, but I was going to ask, I mean, you're with kids all the time. Like, what do you think some of the biggest challenges these kids are facing that you're working with outside of jiu-jitsu? Not
personally, I would say social interacting. I would say building those communication skills, trying to understand that if somebody is just trying to work a technique, that doesn't mean that they're trying to attack you. That doesn't mean that they're trying to hurt you. Or like if somebody stands up and maybe they like starts talking, but one of them takes it offensively, to understand that you don't need to get mad back. You just need to ask for clarification. Use the skills, use our words to talk through things. Just because we know jiu-jitsu doesn't mean we should use our jiu-jitsu. We have our mouths and we've been practicing that much more. So I would say probably the social interaction and social communication between all kids of all ages. I would say that it's very beneficial when you learn how to communicate and express yourself in a very safe way.
I think expressing yourself hits on it a little bit more than just communicating. I think parenting is hard, and you never know, like. Getting a kid to express themselves in any way is difficult, and it's hard to not shut that down as a parent. Not that I think any parent is like I said, we're all doing our best out here. But
we're all rookies, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all rookies at
yes. But jiu-jitsu does give you a way to express yourself, like through body movement, and even like you said, communicating with your partner. Like it's an individual sport, but it's also a team. Like you have a team there too that you need to communicate and talk to, that you're training with all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think jiu-jitsu does a good job, like I said, of allowing those kids to express themselves and to get out whatever emotion they might be working through, and keep their body moving too. Like the exercise is huge, of course. They're we have them constantly running around and getting the zoomies out. So
Zoomies, I like that. And
So the parents probably thank you more.
yeah, I'm sure they do. You guys follow the Gracie method? Are you a Gracie school or not?
So we're not a Gracie University school. We're actually under Henzo Gracie.
Okay.
Kevin can probably talk more about that than
Yeah, we're Henzo Gracie. So the curriculum that we fall under is under Coach Shanes. That's our head coach. He made a curriculum for the adults class, and then we use that to make a kids curriculum. So that way we go over the necessary positions, and then on Friday is the like the recap of the week, and then we go into 2 positions every week, and then Friday's the recap.
Very cool.
And before I forget, I just want to make sure too, so anyone that is watching that may be interested in getting their kid into Geese for Growth, what's kind of like the process for a child or their parents to get their kid involved? Like how do they go about, I guess applying maybe?
Yeah, there's an application on the Geese for Growth website. So there's a written application, and then we request references. So we'll reach out to those references, and then we also have like an on the mat kind of, I don't want to call it an application because it's more like a trial run, I guess. We'll have them do I think it's 3 to 4 classes just to see if they fit kind of what we're looking for, because we definitely want kids that are going to be growing in our program. That are they're listening to the instruction and trying to work with us as well. And we also want the parent support to be there too. But it all starts with the written application on our website.
Okay, so just everybody go to the website first.
Absolutely, yep.
Awesome. On a personal note, obviously you guys have been doing this for a couple of years now, the Geese for Growth a little bit less. How's that journey been for you? Like, what have you guys learned? What do you, on a personal note, again, what are you hoping to accomplish for yourselves over the next, year or so?
Go ahead, Chris.
It's a deep question, I know.
I'm sorry. So what has the growth looked like so far?
Well, like personally, what have you guys learned over the last couple of years and now that you've started the Geese for Growth initiative, have you guys kind of seen the community come together? Like, what has it done to you guys personally?
Yeah, we've definitely seen the community come together. We have members that are on the mat helping us with kids class, and we've had members help members move houses. The community is definitely there. We definitely want to build it. I feel like we have a lot to offer, and we have a lot to still help try to get our name out, and convincing people to do jiu-jitsu isn't the easiest thing in the world, as you can imagine. It's kind of a very physical contact in your face sport. But still building on that, still getting people in the door and showing them how it can really change their lives, how it's changed our lives. It has definitely changed our lives. Watching our kids class grow, watching, like I said, the kids turn into these respectable, incredible humans has definitely changed even how we see the sport. And in our own kids too, because we've seen them develop and how much it's done for them. And just keeping that going, spreading it to other families that can see the same thing in their own kids would be incredible.
Absolutely.
Have you ever had a kid pin you, Kevin? Or debate you? Has that happened yet?
Because I allowed it to happen.
Okay.
There's been a few that get close, though. There's been a few that get close, but no, luckily I'm 31, so I can just stand up.
You're limber. Yeah, you can stand up.
Yeah. It's funny when they get into teen years, though. Once they hit those teen years, they get real tough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now I can't stand up as much anymore.
Yeah, I guess. What's your favorite submission, Lexi? What's your favorite one? When you're gonna put him down?
Probably a knee bar. I'm a knee bar.
Never want him to walk again.
Steve, that's what we should do. We should bring the Live Oak office over to theirs, and they should let us fight so we can get all our frustrations out on each other.
I was telling Kevin, I've done it a couple times. I'm not good, but I'm overweight. So if I get on top, I'll be okay. But we do have a gentleman that runs our customer service team, and he's been doing it, and I've been spoiling for a match with him. So maybe you can maybe I can get a few lessons, Kevin and Lexi, and then maybe I can, school him a little bit. We usually fight about hockey teams and stuff, but yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to come visit you guys. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was settle office beef with each other. That's the way it's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, we tried it with the T-shirt cannon, and we had that incident, and so we can't really do that anymore. So this seems a little more safe, a little more.
Yeah,
adult.
I mean, we in a safe way. We beat each other up every day.
Marriage counseling.
Yeah,
Marriage counseling 101. That's good. That's good. May have found a spin for you. Who knows?
Yeah, really.
Who knows?
To bring us back steer us back on the course a little bit, for any of the viewers that don't really know, we've sort of partnered with you guys in a initiative that we've called the Give Back Gig, and that kind of helps us, partner with local organizations where we can try to get a way to donate them money and obviously support their cause. And you're one of those groups, and really, I guess the question I'm kind of going for that I'm going to lead into is, we've probably touched on it a little bit, but maybe one concise answer. What support do you guys sort of need that the community can come and join in on to keep you running this initiative and getting more kids to jump into jiu-jitsu?
Funding is basically what we need at this point.
yeah, and spreading the word too.
Yeah,
because that's another thing is that I don't feel like that Geese for Growth is very known right now. We tell the people who come in. But I don't feel like it's known enough to the vast majority of people. So just being able to get the word out, that would be fantastic. And then
do you guys have any events? Funding. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, and funding. That was it.
Yeah. Do you guys have any events coming up that are inviting the community in to at least test out jiu-jitsu, whether it's for them as an adult or younger kids?
So I don't think we have any specific event right now. We always have a free trial option, so anyone can always come in and try one free class on us. We also have the first Tuesday of every month is free for military. So military can always come first Tuesday of the month, always free. They can come every month. Also every Thursday is free for women. We have women's class every Thursday at 4:15. Every single week, that one is free. So we do a lot of just like free events for the community to come out and try it. We don't have anything really on the books right now, just with everything so crazy from summer. It seems to be a wild time for everybody, but coming in the fall, we will have events planned to bring people in.
Yep.
Maybe we could incorporate this into the budget process this fall, Garrett. As we scramble for extra bucks between departments, we go over there. Guys could probably pay for people to watch us fight. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight Rich Shea for anything. But
we're gonna have you guys go against Lincoln.
Yeah,
well, I don't want to fight Lincoln. I can tell you that right now.
He'd probably win.
I can tell you that right now.
It's always like that meme you see.
At the end of the podcast, because this will go out to a lot of folks, if we'll put the link, but for those listening, it's GIS for growth.org. If you go there, you can contribute directly to this fantastic program, and Lexi and Kevin can get more people in. But we'll put the link at the end as well for those that don't like the sound of my voice and like to see it in person. We can do that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Worries.
Yeah. And then I only got a couple more questions left, and then we'll round everything out. But again, I think we've touched on a lot of this stuff before, but why do you think every kid should try jiu-jitsu at least once?
I think that every kid should try jiu-jitsu at least once, just for the confidence, just to see that there is something that can help you boost your confidence. At first, it's scary when you're looking at it, but once you start doing it and you see that your partners and your teammates aren't there to hurt you, they're there to help you. They're there to help you learn. I think once that happens, I think that's, the confidence.
I think try it because, like I said, you can try every other sport and hate them and love jiu-jitsu. You're not going to know unless you hit the mat. So give it a try. You might fall in love. It might change your life. It's definitely worth a shot.
I always say that it's the best game of chess I've ever played. It is a constant, once you learn the moves, it is a constant chess game. You're just thinking about, okay, if this person puts his hand here, where do I go? And it's just constant, little tiny details.
Awesome. To follow that one up, what's one lesson that jiu-jitsu has taught you that you've brought into like your everyday life?
Never give up. Absolutely. Never give up. If you're in a hard place in your life, never give up, because you can keep working and eventually it'll pass. You just have to, you can't stop. I tell that all the time to our kids and our teenagers and our adults. You cannot stop moving. If you stop moving, the other person doesn't stop. They're like, oh, gee, thanks. That's kind of like life. Life doesn't stop. It just says, oh, gee, thanks. And then it keeps going. So you can't stop.
Mine, I guess, is like never underestimate anyone. Like not even in a negative way. Like there are definitely tiny people that are going to be able to beat you up in jiu-jitsu. But also, like, these tiny people are beating up big guys in jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean? So don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate anyone else.
Awesome.
That's true.
Well, Lexi, Kevin, thank you so much. Steve, actually, sorry, did you have a question real quick?
I was going to say, where are you guys located in Florida?
We're in Mary Esther, Florida. We are in between Navarre and Destin. We are west of the front gate of Hurlburt Field, right next to Florosa Elementary School.
There you go. And for those listening that aren't aware, that's the Emerald Coast of Florida. So somewhere between, like, just south of Fort Walton Beach, right? You're close to the water.
Oh, yeah.
Close to Fort Walton Beach. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. And Lexi, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'll put up the QR code. So if you are watching this, scan the QR code. You can fill out that form. As long as you're in a RFI area, available for our service, we'll actually donate $25 to Geese for Growth. So it's a great cause. Get more kids involved with jiu-jitsu, get them practicing healthy habits and building self-confidence. And obviously, they'll have the pleasure of working with Lexi and Kevin and learning some valuable life lessons. But guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. It was a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into The Fiber. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe. If you want to learn more about Live Oak Fiber, visit us at liveoakfiber.com.